Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to day 4 of Summer League, I believe at this point. Celtics off for a couple of days here. They'll be back at practice tomorrow. So not a ton on the Boston front in terms of the Summer League roster today here. Though Jaylen Brown, everyone still on Jaylen Brown watch 10 days into July without an extension. But multiple reports, and what I'm hearing now is that there is momentum toward a contract extension with Brown. I think the expectation is at this point Brown and the Celtics will come to that 5-year Supermax extension at some point during the Celtics Summer League schedule out here. He's still here at hotels doing his apparel event, giving away some of his juice gear and the rest to NBA players. I just saw Donovan Mitchell sporting the hat, so they've obviously crossed paths at this point. Brown's family members here in Vegas, present at yesterday's game. And it seems like the holdup at this point is the details of the contract. Now, I've said all along I don't believe there'll be a haircut on this deal. I do think it'll start at 35%. How much does it increase? Potentially even decrease per year, though I doubt that will be the case. Those are some of the finer details that can be kicked around in this deal. The big ones, though, the trade kicker, which can be up to 15% of the deal. That doesn't impact the early portion of the contract. In fact, if Brown is waived and his contract is the max or greater, there's no trade kicker if he's dealt. It'd be later in the deal where the annual salary is potentially smaller than the max, that could come into play and be spread out over the rest of the deal. That's potentially what Brown could be pushing for at this point. And the Celtics could be pushing for an incentive package here that could give them a break at certain points if he doesn't meet those qualifiers. Those can either be deemed likely or unlikely. Not a huge relief for the Celtics. Again, I think this is going to be worth well upwards of the $295 million Supermax that he's owed here. But one idea we've kicked around that we talked about with Sean Highkin here on the Garden Report in Vegas yesterday is a Damian Lillard trade. Doesn't seem like that's imminent. Doesn't seem like Brown's even been involved in any conversations on that front. I don't think the Celtics have intentions of landing Lillard. And, the Lillard camp continues to push out there that Lillard won't go to Boston, won't play for them. He wants the Heat and the Heat only. So I just think it's growing increasingly unlikely that the Celtics are that team that lands Damian Lillard, despite it making a lot of sense on paper if the Celtics can't come to an agreement here on this Brown extension. But that does seem to be the most likely outcome this week. We'll be here for a couple more days keeping tabs on it. If it does finally happen, we'll go live here on CLNS Media and Celtics All Access. But stay tuned for a practice report tomorrow, maybe an interview with one of the Celtics here before we get out of here. And the Celtics will return to action on Wednesday here against the Lakers. For now, this has been the Garden Report. I'm Bobby Manning. We'll see you soon from Las Vegas.